Good afternoon, friends. Stephen Ben-Nun here with Israeli News Live. Been wanting to update you guys on a couple of things. I did this morning before I got on the road here. I'm headed to Florida. I'll explain that at the end of the video here. But I was able to do a video for Patreon, and I think you're really going to like this video. I'm going into, will the Messiah come from inner earth? And I know that's a crazy title for a video, but believe it or not, there is belief in certain rabbinical teachings that the Messiah comes from inner earth. I mean, believe me, I don't get it. You know, I mean, I can understand raising from the dead and coming from the inner earth after the resurrection because you're placed in the ground, but not this idea of what's being taught. But I bring this out because the situation is very serious. We are headed to a new world order, and all the aspects of that new world order are around this doctrine, believe it or not. So I did the video. I posted it on Patreon. I go into that. I share some very in-depth look at some of these teachings and stuff, and I just think you're going to really find it interesting. So like I said, it's on Patreon. Eventually I'm going to try to share it here on YouTube, but I got to be very careful with that one there. Even when it comes to Patreon, I think I have to be careful about it. And, you know, and sadly, so many ministers just don't see that coming. They don't see what's happening. Also, too, I was over with Paul Begley on I don't even really know much about it. I will tonight, though. I'll share the link with you guys. He's doing another one of these webinar conferences there. I agreed to be a part of it. And, I mean, you guys, you have to understand, I agree a lot of times because two reasons. One, the information that he's asking me to share is important, and Paul reaches a totally different audience than what I reach. I mean, some of it's mutual, but some of it's not. And so it gives me the opportunity to share some thoughts that I'm aware of. And two, Paul, he's always been kind enough to allow me to speak my mind, the things that I believe. He may not agree with them, and sometimes he'll say so. You know, he'll take his ground on that issue. But you know, that's the way it should be, to where you can still be friends and not, you know, you can disagree, but yet you can still be friends at the end of the day. And I appreciate that about him tremendously. And so I think that you'll enjoy that if you get to see that. I don't know much about, other than I'll post a link to it. I can't do it immediately in the video because I'm traveling, but I'll even try to come back and post it later in this one here when I get a chance. I can get online and post it. And I might be able to do that here in just a few minutes. Because I do have to make a stop, so I might be able to pull it up on the computer and do it. We'll see. I'll try it. Also, wanted to make sure that you're aware, too, the situation with Ukraine. I just got word, is basically more of a reminder. I've already shared this with you, that Putin is not going to sit back idly when it comes to all the armament that is being sent into Ukraine, especially the Leopard tanks, the Abrams, etc., and these you know, this spent fuel that is, well, not so much the fuel, but in other words, the armor-piercing rounds that they're going to be using that are very radioactive in the tanks there. Purchase order was made. Germany's using them in their tanks. We're using them in ours. And Putin has made it quite clear that if one of those is fired in the direction of his troops and his tanks, then he's going to react accordingly. So I was told very clearly that when it comes to this, Putin is about to give the major spanking to Germany like never before. Time frame has been October, November is when it's anticipated by the U.S. Until intelligence agencies that Russia will strike Germany in retaliation. That comes too because we kind of know when we would actually use, or Germany would use, those type of rounds in this battlefield, and how things are going to escalate. So I wanted to make sure you're aware. These things, you're going to start seeing fronts open up everywhere on the battlefield. I normally say 3 fronts. It's NATO and Russia, it's China and Taiwan, and it's Israel and Iran. But if you break it down by country, you'll see, of course, Russia, Ukraine, you'll see Russia, Germany, you'll see Russia, France, possibly. I was even told recently that France may be pulled into the mix with this. And then, of course, Iran, Israel, and then going all the way down the list, China, Taiwan, etc. You may see Japan get involved, another front, etc. Anyway, these are the updates for you guys. Be blessed. Talk to you soon.